Alright, we're live, and the camera is not working again. But I want to show you guys something real quick that I'm very stoked about. On my Etsy page, I realized that I have reviews from the hats. Lewis put it on his, not E102 Gamma, Omega. Put it on his Omega. Really cute. I'm glad it fits on him. Very creative. Also, he's got some cool chow down here. Oh, and look at this, the star monster. Yeah, Lewis, if you're watching, I don't know if you're a viewer of the YouTube channel. I'd love to hear about what other customs you have. Oh, you know what? I think I have seen pictures that you've posted on the subreddit because I see the Coco up there. And we just made a Coco the other day on yesterday's stream. And then we got the Deputy. Very nice review. It says, perfect. I've long dreamed of Knuckles' iconic cowboy hat being on one of my figures. And now that dream is a reality. Both the sculpt and paintwork are exceptional. It really elevates the figure and now stands out as one of my favorites in the collection. Highly recommend this seller. Very talented at his craft. A++. It really made my day seeing these. I don't really get notifications about reviews, so it's always nice when I think to check Etsy. So yeah, nice positive start to the day. The rest are all reviews of... the rest are all reviews of Halo stuff. Yeah, I just thought that was a nice positive start. And I'm going to be doing a video soon showing all of my Halo customs just to kind of go over it all and show. But anyway, that's not what today is about. Today is about another kit that'll be coming to Etsy, but also free to download. Shadow Lancelot. So let me try to make sure that this camera gets back on. I think I just have to unplug and plug it back in. I don't know what's up with that. Unplug. Plug it back in. And yep, there it is. It's showing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's on my stream. All right, so you guys can see my smiling face. Let's get this started. First, I'm going to bring in all the files, or the files of models that I have made so far, so we can see them all holistically as one. Here is the chest. The chest looks really small in comparison to the head, but that's the right size. This is what I cut out of it. Is the shape. You can see Shadow's tuft of hair cut out right there. So we'll see how it fits when I print it. I'm going to be printing today. So hopefully by tonight we'll have some test prints to show. Let's bring in some more. The shoe. As well as the shin guard. Hello, Votable Globe. Good to see you. We are almost done making our Shadow Lancelot. Just move this up here. Let's hide all this because I just want to show the finished pieces right now. Yeah, see, look, the shoe looks really big in comparison to the chest as well. So we're going to see how that looks once it's actually printed. And the sword that we made last night. I'm stoked about this sword. Feels like I've been working on this for a long time, but it's only been about a week. So we are going to be making the hands today. I'm going to get started with drinking some water because I've been getting very thirsty while I've been talking while modeling. Today I am up to finishing Shadow Lancelot, creating his hand. We're going to do something kind of interesting. I think I'm going to try to give a lot of different hand options. So So I'm going to show a little bit of rigging, which means that you put bones into the fingers of the model, and so we can pose it in different ways. Thumbs up, hang 10. Only bad symbols are coming to mind. And I almost did one. Anything that you can do with your fingers, we can come up with a hand for that as long as it's appropriate. Let me save this file, and then we'll open back up our working file where we've been making everything. Oh yeah, and I should jump on the Discord and let people know streaming notifications. Let's go to my YouTube channel. And let's open Shadow Lancelot. I got distracted by this. This is a good thumbnail. So this is a very small YouTuber, but, well, not very small. He's got 654. But when I found him, he had a very small number of subscribers. And this one is him driving the weirdest vehicles through McDonald's. He's kind of a, I don't know, I guess Mr. Beast style. Does some funny stuff. So I got distracted by that when I just went to go look for my streaming notification. His name is Jug. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, Mr. Beast style challenges and things, check him out and tell him I sent you. Anyway, let me actually get to what I was doing, which was trying to get the link for the streaming notification. And let's put that on the Discord. We're live. Oh yeah, and I see that Pro Tyler reminded me to do the streaming notification. Alright, let's get my Streamlabs back set up. Alrighty then. So we are doing these hands. See a few different things about these hands that I want to look into. We have these kind of shapes. These are going to be kind of simple. We've got a lot of plates on the fingers. So the first thing I want to do, I think I want to start with Trip's hand as a start. So I'm actually going to open up another instance of Maya. I love this rendition of the song, kind of an acoustic guitar and violin. It's beautiful. I think the title of the song is Wrong or Right or something. Or Does It Matter? What is it called? Oh, the title of this is Fan Art and then parentheses, It Doesn't Matter. I am making the hands, Pro Tyler. Welcome to the stream. Yep, it's finally time. This is the last piece that we need to make. It occurs to me now, remember I put all that detail into this shape here? But what's rendered here is a lot better than whatever I was looking at. This became kind of a random squiggly shape because that was what is in the render right here. Well, no, I guess it's kind of the same. Ooh, listen to this acoustic version. Oh yeah, you forgot about the Coco. All right, looking at these a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna just start with Trip's hand. So there will be a little bit of Trip's DNA in this. I like this little bit of detail in here. I think I'm gonna add it. And also, as I look at the feet, I realize I didn't add this detail, like all these little things, to this. So I don't want to re-sculpt the foot and do a new ZBrush, but maybe I'll just put a little bit of geometry in there, just to give the idea of those shapes. Yes, so Trip's hands are nice and smooth, so I'm going to use that as the inside, and then I'm going to build the armor around that. And I don't think you were here earlier, but what I'm going to do... Protato says you're going to do Trip first. No. I'm going to just start with Trip's hands. So that I can... So I don't have to model a brand new hand, basically. So let's go to Sonic Seams. Technically, I started Whisper's hands by making them from Trip's hands as well. So Trip is kind of like has DNA in all of these. Probably did the same with Fang too. I don't see Trip. I don't see the Trip file. Did I put it in its own folder? I didn't. Where could it be? Should be under my Sonic folder. Scenes. Whisper, Wisp, Fang. Yeah, I don't have any files called Trip. Okay, well, Fang probably has similar hands. Portada says, I missed my chance to get SA2 Sonic from Tito. Oh, sorry to hear that. What would you say are some of the big differences between the usual Sonics and the design of the SA2 one? Because I don't have a big eye for detail on things like that. So I couldn't pick out the difference between them. You think he looks kind of older, more mature? Man, it sure is taking its time to open up this file. Oh, like in-game old. Okay, okay. Yeah, votable. Tell your cat to get in here. Quality cat entertainment. Oh my goodness, this is taking forever. Oh, I'm tired. I worked out for like 2 hours. And a big shoulder workout. And then I practiced the dance routine for the audition. Then I jump roped. There's a jump rope dance in the play. I jump roped through that for 3 versions of the song. 3 repetitions. I'm very tired. Come on, open. I don't like that YouTube is going to show an empty Maya screen because it's taking so long to load. The song is playing right now. What is this? Something of the Wind? Is it Night of the Wind? Yes it is. Oh, looks like I already have it rigged because I... Or is that the... No, that's not my geometry. That's the existing one. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I don't want to use Fang's hands because those were created... No, wait. Yeah, I forgot that I didn't make Fang's hands from Trip. I don't want the source of what I make it from to be anything but what I made specifically. But these look like... These are Trip hands. These are the hands that I made. But I want one that doesn't have the fingers splayed in that way. Oh, you know what I have? I have the actual 3D prints of Trip's hands exported. That's what we'll do. Documents. Organized docs. 3D prints. Trip. Trip custom figure. Here we go. Let's do hand default left. Yeah, that'll do. So let's select this, convert it to faces. Yes, that's not a bad idea, Pro Tyler, but what actually happens with the scans is they end up very, very dirty. Almost to the point of unusability. Like it's hard to explain topology. Like topology is the way that the polygons are, and yeah, the scanning just isn't great at it. I want to merge these. I want to select the faces. Nope, I did the stream notification. Take a look in the Sonic chat. Kinda don't like that this is all Boolean together. I just wish I had the source. You know what? What I'm gonna do is just resurface this. So I'm gonna get it in a nice neutral position. What's up, YBZ? We are finishing this toy. Top view. Yeah, okay, so now one of the cool things about modeling in Maya is you can make it so that like the geometry of what you're building new can kind of attach to this. So I'm going to go to modify. I'm looking for Make Live. There it is. Now, when we use the modeling toolkit and we use Quad Draw, you can start building out the hand in a smart way. So by smart way, I mean not doing it the way that I just started, because that was not a smart way. See, now we can start building cleaner geometry on top of it, because I can't find the original chip files. For some reason, that's worrisome. So I had to take the 3D print files, but the 3D print files are all like built for 3D printing. They're not good for what we're going to be doing today, which is that we're going to rig the hands and make it so that I can bend them into different shapes. Oh no, your Tito Caliburn broke? Did you just get one, or is it one that you already had? Yeah, it's so tough because I would want to make Caliburn, but I'm not going to be making anything that Tito's already made. And that's the thing, I'll want one for myself. So I could either make one just for myself and not give it away. I don't know. It's a tough decision. But he sells out pretty quick. That's something I've considered too, is I'm wondering if I should put limited stock up when I do put these up, because it seems like that helps in getting sales. But then I also want, no, actually, as I say it out loud, I was about to say I want everybody to be happy. And so, not that him having limited stock makes people unhappy, but I mean, I want to have the maximum amount of positivity in the world. So if it makes my stuff less in demand by being more available, I don't know. My goal is to always have everything in stock. Like, I've got the Knuckles hats up there. I intend to never run out of stock on that. Hey, why don't one of you guys suggest the next soundtrack to listen to? We just finished Sonic and the Black Knight soundtrack. Yeah, absolutely. Sonic Heroes. Let's go. Sonic Heroes soundtrack. Sonic Heroes, Sonic Heroes. What goes up must come down. If you don't touch the ground. Alright, so I want to think about where the joints are here. So there's going to be, anatomically there's going to be one knuckle here. Even though this doesn't really have the shape of knuckles, we want to get them in the right places. So we got to think about one right here. So we're going to have edge loops. When I finish this, it's going to be kind of like this so that it can really bend well with the rigging. But we're still just doing the basic shapes right now. That's weird, it's not letting me make the shape that I want to here. I'm going to have to add another pair. There we go. It's going to be a little bit tough to get these shapes in here because I got to click just the right places. Yeah, this part's a little bit troublesome. I'm actually going to do this a smarter way. What do I delete? Control Shift left mouse button. There we go. So, since it's too hard to reach into all these crevices, I want to make the fingers separately. Yeah, 3D prints are fragile. That's why that's what I kind of don't like about selling on Etsy, is because I'm just so worried about things breaking. And I'll always make sure that I make it right for the customer, but I'm always worried that they won't know that I will make it right, and then like they'll give a bad review if it broke in shipping or something. Never really got good at terminating fingers in 3D models, so I'm not sure the best topology for the tip of these fingers. Then again, it is just for 3D printing, so we can actually cheat a little bit and do not such good geometry. Can just kind of make a multi-sided face here. Good thing Base Draw and Surab are not here to see me do this thing that is not good. I'm breaking some rules here with what I'm about to do. So I'm just going to kind of finish these off by doing that. It will be fine. What did I do there? Oh no, there we go. Not the cleanest shape, but it will do. Smooth that out a little bit. We're getting some good hand shapes here. So I think I'm going to take this thumb and just copy it as the fingers so we can save some of that work. Yeah, let's take this, delete the rest, modify, center pivot, bring that down to where the fingers are. And then I think if I make this live again, well, let's duplicate this for each finger. If I make this live, modify. Who's on my list? After this, immediately, I'm probably going to do some Cocos, because I owe somebody some Cocos. And then Super Trip, that we all have the toy. Who else was it? Sparkle Wolf that has the toy, along with you and me? Cocos? Oh no, somebody I told that I would make them some... or I'd give them some Cocos when I eventually made them. nobody who's like active in the Discord or anything. I don't think you'd know them. Like Bonsai something. What's the username? Alright, so now that I've made that live, I think that this will just snap onto it. Yeah, check that out. So I think I can select all these and it'll just snap to the closest location on it. How cool is that? Huh? So now we're snapping that existing geometry instead of using that modeling toolkit. It just goes where it needs to go. Now it's not ideal yet. If I go back to the modeling toolkit, quad draw, then I use this tool to do this again. That worked pretty dang well. And then we'll be able to connect that geometry later, but let's get started on those other fingers. This giveaway, the hat giveaway went smoother than the previous giveaways. So I may just do that. Let's do the same with this. It all just snaps right onto the finger. That is very handy, except for this one here. And that one. We'll go and go back to quad draw and then clean it up. Oh, interesting. It didn't quite go to the right place. Huh. That's not great. Because I want this part, yeah, let's undo that. I want that tip of the finger to be in the right place. So we're going to go face by face. No. Let's make this X-ray mode. So if I pull these out like this, ooh, there we go. It kind of gets them into a better position. Some of these. And now we should be able to go into the quad draw and smooth those out. At least we got the tip of the finger in the right place. That's what's important. Gosh, this is really... It's not great, though. Ugh. It's looking ugly. I have to remember, though, that it's not about getting this hand perfect. This is just the inside. That's what I have to remember. All right. Make this live again. These should snap. Perfect. These should snap. Almost there. It's kind of a handy way of doing it. Quick and easy. It is definitely unconventional. I know I want all these pieces to be down here, so I'll drag them down like that. Okay, that's not amazing geometry, but it will do for now. So let's work on reconnecting all of these. Alright, so there's some obvious places that we can connect things. Like right here. I think this could use another edge loop. Oh, not like that though. Maybe this could use an extra edge loop. There we go. I realized I should have used the topology tools in ZBrush. I'm not familiar with them, but I just have to look it up how to do it. That would have been a much better way to do this. I'm trying to decide if that would just be better in either case. What's going on here? That is the wrong thing. That is not what I'm looking for. God, this is looking really dirty. But I have to remember there's going to be armor over this. So nobody's going to notice this at all. I just don't know how I'm going to connect those pieces on the inside there. It's getting very, very messy. this is getting better. So now we can see that there's 2 lines right here. So this little gap right here, I need to make 2 lines there. So here's 1, here's 2. Then I can connect those together. What did you ask him for, Pro Tyler? Oof, this is looking really bad. Ugh. I'm doing some bad stuff here. Gotcha. I hate what I got going on right here. But it looks it looks a little better smoothed. I kind of want to pivot on this. I don't like I have the original file that I modeled myself, and now I'm just trying to resurface a messed up print version. I feel like I should search for that file more. It's got to be somewhere in here. Maybe it's on my external hard drive. Maybe it's in the 3D prints folder. It's in the trip, export test. No. My projects. Date modified. Goomba hat. Yes, none of those. It's gotta be under Sonic. Where could I have saved this? Project maybe in just default? No. Data. I'm trying to remember when I made this. Because I gotta have the original file somewhere. Do an everything search. Trip. Looking for trip. Wonder if I can filter by type. Advanced? No. Oh yeah, filters. Here we go. Oh, but it won't let me pick right type. Can I put a star? Yes! Oh! It is in my 3D prints folder. Let me open the other Maya instance. Organized docs, 3D prints. Trip. Oh yeah, it was just sitting there right at the top level. I'm dumb. I spent all that time resurfacing and I didn't need to. Oh, well, that's just those pieces. Print setup 2. Alright, do we have what I'm looking for? Yes, this is what I was looking for. Look at that. Nice, clean geometry. This is night and day from... It's crazy to think. I built this from scratch. It's crazy to think that the same person who built that built this monstrosity of grossness. Alright, let's take this hand. Export selection. Sonic exports trip hand. Ooh, this is a cool track. Alright, here comes our much better hand that I should have just searched a little bit more for in the beginning. I just didn't want to be searching all over the place on stream. Oh man, YBZ, I see that picture of the broken hand. That's rough. Dang. Yeah, I see you talking about Gorilla Glue. I use Gorilla Glue Super Glue, this cyanoacrylate. There's a few different types of super glues. Alright, so here is our hand. Much better than that other one I was trying to build. That was dumb. I see we got 6 viewers here. Who else is in the chat? Who's viewing? Got any regulars or is it new people? Alright, so this we're going to be able to build nicely. I'm going to scale it down a little bit, because there's going to be armor pieces on top of this. So make sure that this is nice and steady here. Oh yeah, Votable Globe's still here. I think he's the first one to come online. Alright, so we got a few different things here. Notice there's like these, I don't know what they are, like these little angled plates. So let's start with those. So we're going to make this live just like before. I'm going to smooth it a couple times. And modify. Make live. Then we're going to use the quad draw again. And if we look at that hand, it goes kind of small, bigger, bigger, all kind of covering a V, not a V shape, but a trapezoidal shape here. Let's just build the one. Let's build the biggest one. Be like this, 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 and that. Pretty simple shape. Let's just get it nice and even. I'm liking that. We'll turn off the snapping and then edit mesh, extrude. I'm going to scale it down this way just slightly. Actually, this way as well. Actually, I'm just going to do these edges. So that it's more of a tapered effect instead of going sharply out. I want this vertex to be a little bit higher up. Okay. I think that's working for me. We're going to embed that more into the hand. And let's actually bring these images a little bit closer so I can see them better. I'm going to delete everything except the hand so we can see it better. Do the same with this. Oh, I actually want this piece. Oh, you were talking to Tito in real time? What'd he say? Actually, now that I look at that more closely, it's not meant to be that thick. So let's pull this down a little bit. Actually, it's kind of rounded too. So let's insert an edge loop here. And give it a little bit of smoothness around that top because it is rounded a little bit. But then we'll sharpen up all these edges by adding edge loops. So you'll have to wait until the release of the next batch, then it will make what you wanted. Nice. Yeah, those models are in demand. I want it a little bit more round. I think that's a good shape. It's still a bit thick, especially on this edge, so I'm going to pull in these vertices. Yeah, I think that'll work for this. Oh, you know what it is? It's what I don't have is it's tapered inward here. So I need to take these vertices and scale them in. Kind of give it more of a V shape. See how the scale is wrong there? There's two things I could do. Actually, that is the one thing that I should do, is just move it on that. When I press this button, it does it on two axes at once. See, so I could scale it like this, which is wrong. Could scale it like this. I want to do both at the same time, so I do this one. And we'll just do it slightly. All right, that's a good shape for what we're looking at, I think. So we're going to do 2 more. It's going to be a trapezoidal shape across the top of the hand. So just scaling down. I want to exaggerate because I really want to make sure that people feel that the tactileness. I don't know what the right word is for it. To be tactile. I want people to feel that bump going down. I don't want it to get lost in 3D print, so I'm actually going to exaggerate this a little bit. And then the third one. So it's going to be a little bit exaggerated from what it should be, but as always, when it comes out in a 3D print, you really got to exaggerate things. And all 3 of these pieces are going to go further back on the hand now that I look. Because if we look at, this is like the top of the knuckle, there's going to be pieces there. Go like that. Let's take this thumb. We're going to move it forward a bit. You're asking if you should make a Starline custom figure to go with Mimic. I don't know who Starline is. Yeah, I just don't want to get distracted from working on this, so I'll take a look later. I'm going to group these, center the pivot, and then I'm going to rotate the whole thing this way just so it's more even. It's one of the things that I actually like about streaming is it forces me not to take breaks and stuff when I'm in the middle of doing a 3D model. Getting distracted by a YouTube video or something. So I'm going to put a torus. It's kind of like, are they called inhibitor rings? Kind of that ring design around the edge. Scale that up. And make the torus a little bit thicker. A little less thick. Cool. Got it right. I feel like that's about the right size. Maybe a little smaller. Maybe even smaller than that, actually. Yeah, I'll leave that there for now. And then I'm actually going to repurpose this part of the shin, I think, because it's got a very similar shape. And I like this shape, so let's just take this shin, cut some of it off. Sometimes I get a little lazy with it, but that's a good thing. As long as you don't get too lazy. Reuse things where it's necessary, especially if you want them to be the same style. I want that boot to be the same style as this gauntlet part, and if the shapes are close enough, might as well reuse it. Problem is, we got a big old hole right here. Let's see if what I'm about to do will fix it on its own. I'm going to use the fill hole option. That'll make one big plane across the whole thing. And that actually might boolean fine with it, but let's see. So this is bad geometry because it's like 100-sided face. It's just mesh. Let's try quadrangulate. And that didn't work. Let's try triangulate. Yeah, that's not great, but it'll do for what we're doing. That'll boolean into it just fine. Almirchan says, would you ever do a custom American Sonic figure? I don't know what that is. And as I mentioned to Pro Tyler, I'm working on staying focused on working on this, so I'm not going to be looking things up right this moment, but remind me later once we get a break in between things to look up both American Sonic and, what was the other one? Starline Custom. Oh yeah. Look at the work we saved by doing that. Scale it down a little. Starline is the evil version of Scrooge McDuck. He's Sonic, but he only has one row of quills. I feel like I have seen Starline, and I actually do want to grab my book now. I'll be right back. So I have this Sonic the Hedgehog art book. So instead of looking it up online, I do believe I've seen a duck in this book. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Just looking through this, I found these really cool Badnik designs. I love those. It'd be fun to make some custom Badniks. Whoa, I've only looked about through half of this. Look at this E117 Sigma. It's like a Gamma, but with a bunch of messed up stuff, because I'm halfway done with a Gamma 3D model right now. It'd be awesome to make varieties, because I'm going to make it so that you can do all the other brothers of his from Sonic Adventure. This one's cool. I want to do something like this with transparent blue resin. That'd be really cool. Oh man, I got too many ideas. Oh, the Chow! Look at these Chow. I know I've seen this duck in here though. I want to find it myself in this book so I can utilize this book. Here he is. That's got to be him, right? Top right, Sonic the Hedgehog Bad Guys number 4. Is that who we're talking about? The Scrooge McDuck looking guy? No worries, Highwell. Taking a little break to look through my art book at some of the suggestions people are making. Ooh, here's another cool look of the Starline character. Oh my god. Can you guys imagine if I made this at full scale? So you can actually fit a Robotnik and an Omega inside of it. That would be a hell of a video. I think that would get people watching. The big printer that I'm working on, though, you heard me complaining about it last night, about not getting good customer support from it. They actually did respond that night, so maybe me complaining on the stream helped. I'm sure they didn't see it, but I was actually kind of mad about it on the stream, so hopefully they did not see it. All right, yeah, that's way cool. Yeah, the Scrooge McDuck looking guy. Starline. And you said that the one was called Kit. Which one was that? I forget what I pointed to that you then said was called Kit. Oh, the one with the water. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to it. So I have just repurposed the shin to make this little piece. I think it's always good to reuse things when you can. Because notice this, this has a little bit of a different design than the toy, but the toy is less detailed, obviously. But I actually kind of like my own take on this. I think I might just kind of leave it as is. Kind of like that. Yeah, let's leave it as is for now. Let's start working on these finger pieces. So what do I think these shapes are? American Sonic is the one with the Mohawk spikes and used in the American advertisements in the 90s for Sonic. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check that out. That could be a cool... It would be a classic Sonic, right? So I'd have to mod a classic Sonic body. As I look at this, I feel like this part needs to be thickened up. So I'm just going to pull some of these faces up. Just so that we don't have like a big gap where it might snap or something. In fact, that kind of goes to what YBZ was talking about in the Discord, is, prints are fragile. So I always try to make them a little bit, I err on the side of being too thick instead of not thick enough. It's only been lately that, like with Shadow or Knuckles' hat, that I made it very thin. As you guys know, it is more fragile. Pro Tyler, yours broke, I remember. So I'm being more adventurous with my thin parts. In this case, it doesn't hurt to thicken up this part here just to make it a little better. Alright, so what is this shape? We look at this, it looks kind of cylindrical. Well, okay, check this out. The knuckles are rectangular pyramids, so four-sided pyramids. So let's start with those. I'm just going to create a plane. I'm just going to make it a single plane. Move this into the right position and make it the right size. So the way that I make shapes like this, so it's just kind of like a four-sided pyramid at the top. What I do is I make a split with multi-cut, like so. Boom. Boom. And then that gives us a little point at the top. We can make that shape, and then we need to just fill in the bottom. Using a pen to polygon tool. There we go. We have a little pyramid shape. And I actually want to extrude the bottom. I don't want it to just be flat. I want to extrude a little bit. Cool. See you soon, Highwell. And maybe this part could be a little bit kind of just a cooler shape, right? I feel like it could be a little bigger too. Ah, Votable Globe's cat is here. Is your cat as interested in this stream as the last one? Let's facet these so we can see the details better. All right. Here we go. This is the title number. Oh, no, it's just a short version. What goes up must come down, but my feet don't touch the ground. Alright, does he have one on his thumb? I don't think so. I think it's just these knuckles that have these, this four-sided pyramidal shape. I think that's fair right there. So let's try to identify how many different pieces we need. These two panels can be basically exactly the same. These can too. Maybe they'll be different scales. And then he's also got kind of like an armor piece right here. Let's make that first by tracing over the surface a little bit. We'll make live. Then we'll go back to our modeling toolkit with a quad draw. Your cat tried to make a clip? Alright, so this piece, it's kind of opposite. So like this is upside down, so I have to remember it goes around like this. So basically, just draw some shapes here, 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 and here. I think it actually goes further in for those parts. And this part should be kind of cut in here. Yeah. Kind of want to extend this a little bit just so it's a little bit more prominent of a shape. Edit mesh, extrude. And we'll smooth it out, and remember, always adding edge loops to give it the sharp edges where we want them. We definitely want edges right here to make it a kind of square shape. And certainly on the edges here too. Yeah, I kind of like that. It just kind of gives the effect of being a little plate there. It's that little bit. You know what? This is kind of the same situation as these pieces in that I want to add an edge loop here. Ooh, it's doing some odd things. So if I add an edge loop right in the middle, and smooth it, I can actually select just these edges on the top. Pulling them up a little bit. Oh, it's still make live, that's why. So now it still has a rounded top. And it looks like it's kind of bent metal that it's kind of bent to the shape instead of just hard angles. And I want to take everything on the bottom and I want to just intersect it more with the hand. Just so that when we start moving things that it all stays together nicely. Photo Globe says she's not very focused on it. Bummer. She's not as entertained as last time. You're playing Sonic Mania, huh? Pro Tyler, that's cool. I think Sonic Mania is more of a Sonic 4 than Sonic 4 was. I was playing some Sonic Superstars this morning. I couldn't sleep very well, so I went downstairs and slept on the couch. Didn't sleep very well there either. So I woke up kind of early and just started playing. I played on my Switch. You're playing Rush on your phone? Nice. Yeah, I play Sonic Forces Speed Battle on my phone. Alright, let's get to these kind of harder pieces. So they're cylinders, basically. They just come up to a point, and then they have a little lip around them. Oh, she's watching it? Nice. Hi, kitty. What's your cat's name? I'm not asking you password recovery questions. I just want to know your cat's name so I can say hi. Also, the make and model of your first car. Just kidding. Tabitha. Hi, Tabitha. You good kitty. Number one cat fan. Number one cat species fan of my channel is what I mean. Votable, is she watching right now? Okay, this is for Tabitha. Tabitha, do you like what you see? Chipmunks and birds? Good kitty. Thank you for watching the stream. Did she like that? Nice. Alright, I feel like that shape came out pretty well and pretty quickly. I feel like maybe a little smaller than this. Maybe it's shorter. You notice sometimes I bring up this tool window, and you see it was set to world, but world lets me kind of move it in relation to the world, which isn't going to keep it straight. But I changed it to object, so it keeps the orientation of the object itself and moves everything in the 3 axes relative to that object. So that's how I can make sure that this stays straight even though I've angled it. It's one of the things about 3D modeling is like there's different contexts in which you move things and scale and rotate things in the world. So if it's this long, then we make another one. I feel like that's about right. He's also got longer fingers than what I have here. So I think I need to extend these fingers. Just to give him a little bit more flexibility of shapes of things. And to keep his pinky short, I might just put 2 of the armor pieces on that, because I think 3 of them on the pinky might be a little much. And let's move this index finger got a little bit too long. Even for a cartoon character, you got to get the basic anatomy correct. Mesh, extrude. I feel like these actually should go further down around the finger. Like that. And so let's make this 3 again so it's smooth, but we will insert edge loops to sharpen it up again. Oh no. Sure that these corners here are sharp. That'll be very important. And we need to give it a little bit of a lip here. I'm going to exaggerate a little bit because these details are going to be really small on the hand. So now let's go in to look at just the object itself. Select the outer faces. It could be all of these. I will say, yes, I can, when I'm done with these hands, I will send them to you as reference, certainly. Yeah, what we're going to be doing today is actually rigging the hands, which you don't necessarily often do for 3D prints. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rig the hands so that I can put them in different poses. It's hard to do non-offensive poses with fingers. Finger guns, holding a sword out like that, things like that. So then it can all be posed after I build it. But you have to build it kind of in a smart way so that they all work together nicely. Swiggy says, which part is this? It's a little piece of the finger, and you'll see the rest in just a moment. All right, that's a nice shape. Yeah, so this is all going to get rigged up to do multiple shapes of hands. So I can provide other things like making them hold a sword without having to remodel everything. Yes. As some of you know, I work on NBA 2K. Imagine the complexity of a AAA character, but not a character, it's a real person. So they have just tons of bones in the faces. One of the fun things to do is open up a model of like Shaq and make him do all kinds of crazy faces just randomly. Because I have all those files. Alright, so one thing about this is there's a little gap here, right? We definitely don't want that gap when we're 3D printing. So, there's two things we could do. I think I'm just going to shrink it all down. Which means I need to select all these faces. Sometimes you guys will see that it kind of gets yellow and red here when I press B. So watch what happens, the difference here is I can just scale this down. Or if I press B, it kind of scales everything down with a fall off. So yellow is the full amount, and the more and more red it gets, eventually to nothing, it'll affect that less. So sometimes I'll switch between like doing just these pixels, not pixels, vertices, or make them all move to some extent. And you can change the fall off of how much it does that. So now that I have that, I'm just going to go... Ooh, that's not working as well as I thought. Well, just like that. Yeah, so that I just wanted to make sure that once we put it all together, that this intersects the fingers really well. Scale them that way too. Yeah, we're getting some good detail into this. So next there's going to be tiny little spheres that we want to attach to this. And at this point, I kind of like the shape. So I'm just going to move it out of the way. I like to duplicate it, so I can go back if I need to. Maybe it could be rotated a little more just to start. Maybe thinner, or maybe just smaller entirely. No, I kind of want to exaggerate these details, so it's going to be a little bigger. I think that'll be fine. And as I see it this way, I think I'm going to take a creative liberty and just make them not 3 knuckles, just 2. I'm going to take that artistic liberty because it's a 3D print. We want these details to come out, but we don't want to muddy them up too much. So it's just going to be this and this, kind of like that, as you see here. But we're not ready to do the other ones yet because we need to add a little sphere to that. I'm going to take off the smooth preview and then we're going to actually smooth it. I'm going to create a sphere because he has like these little bolts that hold it all together. And those are... They look like they're at just the front edge of it. And this detail I'm going to exaggerate a little too. I'm going to make these little round shapes bigger than they actually need to be. Just because I want it to show up in the print very well. What's up, Average Alien? You ordered Trap Team and it should be arriving Tuesday. Can't wait to be playing it soon. Awesome. Yeah, so I've been doing so much Sonic stuff lately. Well, you guys know I got kind of annoyed at the people on the subreddit, the Skylander subreddit. They're always nice to me, but I just see them being jerks to each other so often that I just really didn't feel like making more stuff for the community. Which is bad because it hurts the people who are cool, and I'm sure the majority are cool. It's just people are just kind of jerks to each other on the subreddit. So I just found myself like not feeling good about thinking about people benefiting from my 3D models in the Skylanders community. Just seeing that negativity. So I kind of really switched a lot more to just doing Sonic. But Chomp Chest is on my list to do next. So that'll be coming soon, and then you'll be able to use that with your newly ordered Trap Team. I've just got so many Sonic stuff in progress. What do I have? I've got this. I basically just need to make the video for my Mephiles minions. I just need to make the video for my Egg Pond Samurai. So both of those figures are actually just done. What else? I've got E102 Gamma in progress. I've got Cocos in progress now because I warmed up yesterday making some Cocos. I'm going to make a bunch of different ones. What else? I guess I haven't actually started anything else, but I bought the toy for Super Trip. So Super Trip's coming. I bought a base toy from How to Train Your Dragon, and so did Sparkle Wolf and Pro Tyler. Votable Globe says, not Chomp Chest, don't remind me of it. He's been doing the Nightmare Nuzlocke. Crazy hard stuff. Alright, so once again I'm going to move these and check this out. See how they all move in the wrong direction? It's because I still have local movement on. So if I double click this and change object to world, now they all move together. So remember how I was showing you kind of the difference between local and world? You might have been wondering, well, what's the practicality of that? That is one reason it's practical. Move all things at once, even if they're at different orientations. Let's boolean these together. So now we have a single shape here. We're going to duplicate it, modify, center pivot. We're going to move it down like this. Yeah, Average Alien, the best way to get started is by doing small stuff. The first Sonic custom I made was actually some tiny little chows. It was one of the first things I printed on my resin printer. And chows are easy. Is the plural of chow chows or chow? I don't know. Might be chow. Like sounding singular. Alright, so this is tough because I need to scale it down a little bit, not too much. But right now it definitely feels too big. But yeah, definitely always starting small is often a good thing. But not always. Sometimes it's good to start big. Whatever you feel like you're capable of. Alright, I feel like that shape will... I'm just trying to think of what this will look like when it's bent like into a fist, if they're going to separate too much. I think I'm going to err on the side of making them a little bigger for that reason. Because most of these are going to be poses that have some kind of bend. So think about if these pieces were on my finger when they're straight and they're like barely touching like that, and you do this, they're not going to touch anymore, and you might see a lot of empty space right here. So that's why I'm going to cheat this and make it a little bit bigger. It just looks so bad right now when it's big like this. Let's go a little bit smaller. Split the difference. Because these are all going to intersect in an unreasonable way, or unrealistic way. But it's a toy, it's fine. And in fact, for a 3D print, I actually like to have a lot of intersection so that I don't have too many weird gaps in the final print. Check this out. So Average Alien says he's got a lot of notes stored up in his phone for things to do. Let me show you my list. So this is my video ideas list. I don't even know if you guys can make any of those out. That's not the point. The point is just how many ideas I have written in the last 4 months or so. I have so many things that I want to do. I might put these into an Excel sheet with like how much effort it might take, how much I think it would be worth it for the channel, how much it would cost, how much I could make money off of selling that particular one off of Etsy. And then really, and maybe send it out to you guys, and maybe you guys could help vote on what you think would be the most interesting of these ideas. And that way I could gather general interest as well. So take all that huge list of ideas, put them out there, and just see what you guys think. That kind of discussion happens a lot on the Discord, so if anybody's watching is not on the Discord, you guys could, I don't know where the link is, like the most recent video I did, like the most recent non-live video has the Discord link if you want to check it out and are not already part of it. Yeah, you guys can see this is really intersecting, but that'll be okay once it's an actual 3D print. Because I'm just setting this up for rigging so that I can get the different poses, and then once I get it in like a fist pose and things don't match up, then I can further move these objects from here. It's almost like a temporary rig. When you rig for video games, that's the final thing, you know? But with this, it's what we're doing here is like a temporary rig just to get the shape, and then we'll modify it from there. Hey, how's it going, Reggie J. Jr.? RJJ. Not much, just modeling the final part of the Shadow Lancelot figure. Working on the hands. We have finished the feet. Chest armor. The head armor. And the sword. Now we're doing the hand. All hail Shadow. Hell yeah. Hail yeah. So this is 0.9 scale. I'm going to do the same for this piece. I hope I get into that beta for the, not Sonic Toys Party. What did they rename it to? Sonic Rumble, that's right. I was thinking Rush, but that's obviously a different game that's already out. One of the things that I wonder about, because they said that there would be like different times for you to join. Like once you're in the beta, then you would be assigned a time that you can play. I don't know if what I'm saying is accurate. That's just the gist that I got from something that I read. And I hope that if a bunch of us from the Discord get in, that we can all get in at the same time. Reggie says, so how does this, the head goes here. Well, what I did, I'm not sure if this answers your question, but I 3D scanned the head of the toy for Shadow, and then I cut it out of the shape of what I 3D modeled, so it fits perfectly flush on the head. It's pretty fun that way. Very satisfying to put it on the figure after it's printed. This track sounds a little bit like The Matrix. Highwell says, where do you apply for the beta? How did I find that out? I just Googled it. I think I just searched like Sonic Rumble beta. There's a sign-up page on a website. Hey, what's up, Grenade? Good to see you here. Grenade is one of my earliest followers who is still active, at least. Your cat is motionless because she is entranced by the power of Shadow Lancelot. Or perhaps the calming sounds of my voice. Staring contently into the screen. Hi, Tabitha. Do you have the, presumably you have the sound on, or do you have headphones in? Can she hear me? Hey, kitty. See if she likes this. Does she like the motion of that? Oh, if my wife is watching, maybe she can bring Poppy down to say hi to Tabitha. That is my cat. They are cool, Swiggy. Yeah, we used to have a cat named Perkins. I don't know if any of you know what a Cornish Rex is. It's basically a cat. It looks kind of hairless, but it is not hairless. It still has down. So cats have a couple layers of fur. One is the hair that you think of a cat as having, but beneath that is what's called down. It's almost kind of like down from feathers, like beneath the feathers. And so this cat, it's a Cornish Rex. He died a little over a year ago because he had a lot of medical problems because he was very, he's a purebred cat, so they always have problems. And I've spent many thousands of dollars on vet bills to keep him alive over the years. Every year or so he'd get very sick just from genetic problems. And he was really cool. He looked hairless, but he was not hairless. He had a little thin bit of fur. He was really long and lanky. Sometimes you guys will see me use an emoji on the Discord of a cat that's tan and kind of going like this. That's Perkins. I hope nobody screenshots that face I made. Alright, well there is our armor for the hand. There's probably some armor down here, so let's actually just draw at least something out for that. Even though most people aren't going to really see the inside of the hands much, let's just give a little bit of something in there. So let's make this live again. Let's save first. Let that do its thing. Modify, make live. So by making this live and then using the modeling toolkit, we can draw on the surface. And I think there's probably just like a thin, like a couple layers of armor kind of just going like this. So let's just build that up. Okay, you can draw a shape that goes down like this. Around, just back up to here. And so I'm placing, these aren't vertices yet. They are points that we can then turn into vertices by adding faces. It's a really cool way to model something. A lot of times you'll do like a freeform sculpt in ZBrush, and then ZBrush doesn't have good topology. Nowadays it can actually export some pretty good automatic topology, but generally you'll export just the very high polygon mesh and then re-topologize it into something that a game engine or even just film can process a lot better. So we're using that same kind of technique here. I don't like this shape though. I think I want it to get wider as it goes, so let's just pull all of this. And you can see that I'm just kind of pulling the whole edge, but it still sticks with what the hand is. It's really handy. No pun intended. And these references are kind of in the way, but that's okay. So I like it wide here, and I like the idea of it getting kind of thin. Yeah, so it's just, maybe it's like a strap, kind of holding on the armor. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a couple edge loops here. And then we'll extrude. And I'm just going to do it slightly, because then I want to deselect these. So we just have that outer row. Then I'll extrude again. So it almost has like just these two layers to it. I don't know what it is. Just a little shape to make it be something. I just felt that the hand was a bit bare without something like that. I kind of want to move this whole section further away from the thumbs because I don't want it to interfere with that. Yeah, that's nice. So we'll give it a smooth preview, and then we're going to, as always, add edge loops to just sharpen it up where we want it to be sharpened up. Oh no. Clicked the wrong thing. Oh, I love this song, but I didn't know it was from Sonic Heroes. Ah, I keep pressing the wrong... I just keep clicking in the wrong spot. And notice how this is now intersecting with the hand. We'll just pull that out a little. Just get some nice sharper edges to define the shape. Yeah. Like I said, I don't really know what that is. Maybe some kind of strap holding it all together. It gives that little nice detail. Something else we could do actually is, let's say that say we wanted straps around each one of these armor parts. I could actually just select some of these faces. And watch this. I'm selecting, so I'm double clicking to select the whole loop around, right? So I want the straps to be thicker than this, but because I don't want to select too many things, I'm going to be lazy. Select these as well. And then if I press the angle right bracket, it expands that selection, right? So now, if I do edit mesh extrude, you can just give a little hint of like straps holding it together. Ooh, except I don't like that it did it on the tops there. So now that we have that selection, let's go through and deselect the tops of it so that we're just doing, oops, so that we're not intersecting with the armor pieces. Thank you, YBZ. Small details, and they're going to be very small when actually printed. They go a long way because every little detail we add when we do a wash on it is going to look great. Especially this hand. This hand is going to pick up so many of the darkness. Oh, if anybody doesn't know what a wash is, if you have something like this Knuckles head, see how it has all these details? If a wash is kind of like a thin paint. It's not as simple as that, but it's kind. For the purposes of this, it's a thin paint, and it sticks into all the little crevices. Gives it a lot of really great detail when it's dry. I don't have any examples of that within arm's reach, but you can see it in basically any one of my models that has any kind of detail to it. I use the wash to really pull out those details. That combined with a dry brush. So dry brush is when you take paint and don't mix it with any water. So it's just thick, but it's just a very small amount. You take the brush and you just kind of go like really lightly on it, and it brings up the highlights. So dry brush bringing highlights with a wash bringing the lowlights. If you're familiar with 3D modeling, the lowlights would be kind of like an ambient occlusion. That's the term for that. Amazing techniques for painting. When I get my room set up with better, more permanent painting stations and stuff, I'm probably going to do some streams where I'm actually live painting my painting techniques, if people are interested in that. Alright, so now I've got just selections of those straps. Now we can extrude again. And none of it is, oh, some of it is intersecting here. So let's just deselect a little bit more here. Yeah, it's gonna be a very subtle detail, but it's there. Yeah, so see, now it makes sense that like all these finger pieces are connected. All right, so now to the not very fun part. I'm gonna grab another bottle of water. Or actually, I'm gonna run upstairs and grab a glass of water. Waste not, want not. Then we're going to get started on the actual posing of the hand. I'll see you guys in just 20 seconds. I went ahead and grabbed my Mephiles figure because I used a wash on this to good effect. So, hopefully it focuses on him well. You can see all these little crevices. They're darker than the rest. The way that I did that was to take that very watery wash, put it into all those crevices with a paintbrush, and then I actually wiped away lightly the surface with a paper towel. And it leaves all little details in the crevices. Look at his hips, look at his ribs. Without that, you wouldn't be seeing as many details of the 3D prints. So, this is an upcoming video. This character is done. I just need to edit the video. But yeah, if you are into painting, definitely learn how to use a wash. Very, very helpful. It makes my painting look twice as good. It's nuts. All right. Oh, Swiggy's got bacon. I've been dieting because I've been exercising a lot. I've been trying to do just mainly protein, build muscle, cut out fats, grease. And I'm always hungry because of it. All right. So, as Highwell mentioned This is not the fun part. This is rigging. This is what I do for a living. I chose a bit of a sadistic profession. Votable Globe says, my cat thinks it looks amazing. Swiggy says freaky. YBZ says sick. Thank you, guys. So what we need to do is create joints for this. So we're going to switch to the animation tab. So when I first got my a friend of mine put on his nautical pirate hat and got the program for me, perhaps less than legally. This was back when I was like 16, half my life ago. Holy cow. And he opens the program. He says, are you sure this is the program you want? There's like 70 buttons on the screen. And yeah, you see there's all kinds of buttons through all of this. But this is just 1/4 of it. This is the modeling, or it's 1/6 of it. You go to the rigging tab. We got all kinds of other controls. You go to the animation tab. It's a complex program, but it's very fun to use. Steak says, looking to milled flaxseed goes great with yogurt. Oh yeah, I'll check that out, definitely. And welcome back, Freddy and friends. Swiggy says, Yarhar, knows what I'm talking about. Alright, so now we're in the rigging tab. Skeleton, create joints. I'm just going to click anywhere here. And so I've created the joint. I'm going to change the size to be more visible. And this will be our root joint. Just going to get this right in the center. I'm going to turn it on so that the joint is always showing through the mesh so you can see it at all times. And then we're going to duplicate. But always name them. So def hand root. Def just means deformable. It's a convention that we use in rigging. Yeah, definitely YBZ. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. Let's start on the thumb. Here, move it. I just duplicated it. And we're going to move it into place. So you want to think about where the joint would be anatomically in a real hand. So if you think about it, so the thumb is actually a little weird, and we're not going to do something completely proper. The first, so you know, we have knuckles in our hands like this. So how can I? Oh yeah, my pinky. So we got a knuckle right here, doing that. The position is right there. Then we got. It's hard to move just the one knuckle, but you know, we have these knuckles in our hands. Well, the first knuckle, technically, I don't know if it's called a knuckle, but the first motion of pivot for a thumb is actually way back here. Like this is what you might consider the first knuckle of the thumb. But if you think about it, this bends here, here, here. This one you've only got boom, boom, because this part is way back here. So if you want to be anatomically correct in your rigging, it's got to be further back. So we are actually going to do that here. I was thinking I'd be a little bit less realistic because I wasn't sure if I wanted this part moving, but I remembered that I have this plate here that I do want to rotate. Oh, bummer to hear that. Hi, well. So we're going to start the first knuckle here. Move it up a little bit. Okay, now one thing you'll notice is, let me make sure that I am in local rotation instead of world, or object rotation. So notice that when I rotate this, and then go back into move, the Z-axis, the blue one, is now pointing that way. We want our Z-axis to be pointing down. We want all the rotations to be the same, because here's why. Take a look at these numbers on the right-hand side. If I rotate on Y, we're going to get a clean value there. If I rotate just randomly on all three, we're going to get random values, and that's no good. But if they're all oriented the same way, like let's say we had multiple of these in a row, and they are all in a chain, like so. When we select all three, oh my goodness, and then we rotate on just the X, they're all going to move in a single line in the way that they're oriented. If I hadn't oriented them all the same way, we'd have some problems. So that is one of the reasons, if you're into CG and are thinking of becoming a technical artist, that's going to be one of the big things in rigging that you will need to learn. So I'm actually going to point this down the chain, and we're actually going to do a thing that automatically rotates them anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Here we go, we're back to the Sonic Heroes title number. Alright, so this we want to rotate right in the center of the armor. So I'm looking at it from all angles, just making sure that it's right in the center of everything. Do the same here. Alright, great. So now I'm going to make these a chain of joints. And watch what happens. This is wrong right now. If I select all of these, and then I rotate them, say, on this x-axis, it kind of curls in a way that we don't want. That's actually kind of a pleasing curl for a thumb, technically, but YBZ says, can you play the team themes? Sure. Oh, maybe it's in this same video. It has Team Chaotix at the end, but let's find a video with just the team themes. Here you go. Alright, so technically that's wrong, and watch how it rotates different once I do this thing I'm about to do. We go skeleton, orient joints. I'm going to tell it that the primary axis is Z, and secondary axis being Y is fine. We orient. Oh, it's because I've already rotated them. Bear with me one moment. This doesn't require explaining because it's very advanced, so I'm not going to talk during this part. For reasons, it needs to be no rotations. Now we'll do orient joints. And you can see that now each one is pointing directly to the next one on the z-axis. And then this one actually does need to be rotated like so, because the end of the chain won't do anything different. So now we rotate like that. It's actually that looks very similar to what happened before, but it's just correct now. Yeah, YBZ, I tend to not switch out my hands a lot when I'm working on them, but I think a lot of people like to, so I'd like to give that option. Your cat's tired. So we're gonna name this Def Hand, or we'll just call it Def Thumb 1. Def Thumb 2. Def Thumb 3. Oh, Tito sent me a message. Oh. He said the shadow stuff is looking awesome. Nice coincidence. Ooh. Okay. I think he might not want me to say what he just sent me, but that is amazing. So good to know. Okie dokie. Something for me to avoid working on. Because when I first started getting into Sonic stuff, I said to Tito, hey, I don't want to encroach on anything that you make. I'm actually going to rotate this a little bit on this axis. And let's test that rotation again. Okay, yeah. It is not Shadow related, but I will not give any more hints because I do believe that it is a private conversation. Just for practicality's sake. Your cat is no longer watching. No worries. I bet she had fun. Alright, I think that's in a good spot for that knuckle. And what I'm actually going to do for this finger, because this isn't getting orientation from that last thing that I did, so you actually want to add an extra bone right at the end so that it can orient toward that direction. It's like you're kind of telling it what way it should orient. All right. So let's parent these. This also doesn't need to be perfect. In a video game, it would need to be perfect, but since we're just using it to pose for these things, that's all we need to really worry about. So I'm going to select all these joints. Skeleton, orient joints. So now, look how pleasing that is. Look how the y-axis of this is just pointing straight up out of the finger. It's going to let us rotate very, very nicely. If I rotate on Z, look at that. It's going to curl up perfectly into the hand. I love it. So let's name this correct. This is the index finger. Def index 1. Def index 2. Def index 3. And this one I'll just call def index end. Alright, so I can actually just duplicate this and use it for the next part. What team theme song is this? Is this the... I don't know the team names. I know Team Chaotix. I don't know the rest. Is this the one with Big the Cat and Amy? And who else is with them? Omega? Oh, this is Sonic Team. Okay. It sounded very light-hearted. I thought Sonic Team would have more of like a rock, cooler sound. Not that that song wasn't cool. I just mean that song was more like upbeat and cute compared to what I would think would be like a more of a rock song for Team Sonic. All right, let's rename these. Def index, or no, not index, middle. One. Def middle 2. Def middle 3. Def, middle, end. Oh yeah, this one does sound cool. Pro Tyler says, I wish I was friends with Tito. I bet you and I are the same amount of friends with Tito. We don't like hang out and stuff. Like, we just know each other from online, from similar circles. Talk techniques and things. He knows you now. You were asking him questions. But I know what you mean. Yeah, especially if you buy something from him, and like maybe an unpainted one, and then you paint it up and stuff. I bet he'd love to see that, because I love to see when people make stuff using mine, certainly. Bet Tito's the same way. Alright, this is the ring finger. Def ring 1. Def ring 2. Def ring 3. Def ring end. Wow, we just had a appearance on a message from Instagram from Tito, and less than 5 minutes later, Pink GameCube shows up. Welcome. Great to see you here. We are working on the last part of the Sonic custom, or the Shadow custom, Shadow Lancelot. I 3D scanned the toy so that I could cut out the shape so it just fits perfectly. We got the shoes done. We got the chest piece done. The chest piece looks a little small. We're going to see how it looks when it prints. And the sword, of course. Got the sword going, too. Pink GameCube, I have not forgotten the thing that we talked about, and I'm going to be building that off stream. So that is something we will probably keep secret. Now it's not a secret that something's coming, but we will keep that something secret. I'm really excited to do it. So is my wife. I told my wife about it, and she loves the thing that it is. I'm being vague. All right. And lastly, we're going to do the pinky. I feel like I am no longer rotating locally. Yeah, how did that happen? Ooh. Has that been happening this whole time? Yes, it has. But if I go back to local, or object. Oh, it still works. Okay. So it doesn't hurt that I accidentally rotated these in world space. Yeah, Pink GameCube, to catch you up on what I'm doing here, I'm actually rigging the hand so that I can just model the base of this once and then pose it into holding a sword or giving a thumbs up or things like that, and not have to remodel it every time. So you have different options. What's up, Freddy and friends? Call back to the tomato. Oh yeah, Freddy, I guess it turns out that you guys can't make it out tomorrow. So I think we're just doing dinner with my mom your grandma. Yes, she would be your grandma. And your great-grandma. Yeah, we were talking about maybe doing something here. But it looks like that is not going to work out. Alright, I think that's good setup for the pinky. So let's name this Deaf Pinky 1. Deaf Pinky 2. Deaf Pinky 3. Alright, now comes the kind of tedious part. If that looks tedious, it's about to get more tedious. Rigging is what technical art is my job. Rigging is one aspect of technical art. And so I don't do much rigging nowadays because on the game that I'm on, it's all code that rebuilds everything every time because we have thousands of NBA players, you know. Not just NBA players, the coaches, WNBA, mascots, audience members. All these things have to be automated. So I don't do much rigging nowadays, but in other jobs, I used to do it all the time. So, let's save. And now it's time to assign the geometry of the models to the bones. So the easy ones are going to be things like this. Let's smooth this out. So we're going to select just that, and we're going to go to rigging, skin, bind skin, and it's just going to be selected joints and apply. So watch this. So this is simple, first part. As I rotate these joints, now that part is rotating with it. Highwell says, yo, Steak, would you possibly be fine with modeling the visor for the helmet? I just can't get it to look good. Are you talking about Blaze's helmet? If so, yes. So now these two pieces, oops. What? Oh, did I accidentally re-smooth it? My bad. Alright, now we do this. Skin, bind skin. Now these two rotate together. So, you get the idea now. This is going to go with... Oh, shoot. Do I want to smooth these first? Yeah, I want to smooth this. Modeling, mesh, smooth. Go back to rigging, skin, bind skin. So now when we rotate just this, you get the idea. So let's go down the line and do it for all of them. Now we do this. Aha, look at that. See, all that work is paying off now so that we don't have to manually move all these things to make different hand poses. So some of you might ask, well, what about the pieces that bend? Well, we will get to that. We're going to first smooth these out. I'm going to smooth out all the meshes real quick. Just so I don't have to go back and forth between the modeling and the rigging menu. Okay, this is the Team Chaotic song then, huh? Oh, Freddie says, today I bent my neck in the wrong way now. When I move it, it hurts. Your aunt just did the exact same thing. Yes, last night. We were just playing Mario Kart. Oh, Freddy, did you see the Aurora Borealis last night? We drove up north a little bit to go see it. It looked amazing. It looks way more amazing on camera than in person, though. Mesh smooth. All right, so I think that's everything that needs to be smoothed now. So now we can get back to rigging menu. Skin, bind skin. All right, so this is an interesting question. Do I want these to move with the knuckles? I think so. So we'll assign these to these. We can always change this later. Another option that we could do with these, if we don't want it fully moving with the knuckles, is we could put it half to the knuckle, half to the hand, and then it'll kind of do an in-between. Looks like the Sonic Heroes team songs have ended. Whoever shouts out next, tell me what Sonic soundtrack to play next. If I remember correctly from the Skylanders giveaway thing, it doesn't show them in the order. I think most of you will see your comment first, because I think YouTube like shows yours first and then like sends the message, so it might not be in the right order. Pro Tyler says Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure 1. Here we go. Let's do the Sonic Adventure 2. Love the soundtrack. Yeah, I think I might do another when I do another Skylanders figure. I think I'm gonna do the Skylanders, the quiz, the emoji quiz again. Freddy was doing some emoji quiz Sonic last night on the stream. All right, so check this out. Everything but the hand is gonna move here. It's going to look kind of odd, but kind of neat. All right, watch this. How cool is that, right? Let's turn off this option. Ah, how fun is that? It's coming together. All right, but now the little bit more difficult part, which is we need to do it to the hand. So one of the things that I do is what you need to do is what's called skinning, which means you're going to say how much influence this bone should have on this part, and then you kind of blend it between so that it, for organic objects that are not individual objects like this one, you like my arm. My arm, the vertices of my arm are not going to just completely move with this joint, with this bone. It's gonna, there's two things happening here. There's squishing happening because of fat and muscle. That's a whole separate thing that you'll rig. But this part right here isn't gonna move with either bone. It's gonna be a combination of the two. So you kind of blend it together, and that's what, oh yeah, Highwell says weight painting, that's right. So let's get started on that. A lot of people hate this part. I find it kind of relaxing, but when I'm trying to get a project done, I don't find it relaxing. I just kind of want to get past it. So especially for this one where we're just doing it to pose the hand, we're not going to go into too much detail getting it just right. Yes, I will. A lot of people do. There's a lot of things in technical art that people hate with a passion, including myself, but It's job security in a lot of ways, because a lot of people don't want to do it. It's one of the reasons I chose to do this job, because I wanted to, like a modeler might have a harder time finding a job than a technical artist. Animators, some animators I know have no problem finding jobs. Some do have problems. And it's not directly related to quality either. Animation itself, as an animator, is kind of it's a very strong who you know game too. Yeah, make a name for yourself, and I could go on and on about the dynamics of different positions in CG, but let's just work on this for now. I think this might not actually bend, so I'm just going to assign this to the one bone real quick. And now we're going to select all these joints. Select hierarchy. Then we're going to select this, and then we're going to say skin, bind skin. So now when I move something like this, the finger moves with it, but look, we got some problems. These vertices are moving along with it. We don't want that. So to make this easier to work with without having to go into the weight painting mode and then go rotate a joint and back and forth, I'm actually going to animate these joints. And for some reason my animation window is not showing at the bottom of the screen. So let's go to Windows, Animation Editor, Time Editor. Nope, that is kind of what I want, but it's like a whole window. What I want is just a little UI element. Is it in heads-up display? Animation, no. I guess I could change the window workspace. Yeah, usually there's always a little animation thing down at the bottom, this. I don't know why it wasn't showing. Now it is. So, select our joints. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set a key just here on the first frame, and then I don't know, like frame 60. I'm going to put it all down like this. Now I can actually just scrub through the animation. We're not animating anything for the project. I'm just making a test animation so that I don't have to switch back and forth between painting the weights and selecting joints to move them. So now we can just do this easily. Furthermore, we can make them happen at different times. So let's deselect all these joints. And let's deselect all these. And we can actually shift these keys. So let's change this to like 600 frames. I can select all of these and move them so that they happen after. So now the finger and the thumb go, and then the rest go. Now we can do the same here. The reason I want to offset these is because I want one finger out of the way. Look at that. Now we get them in succession so that this one moves out of the way so that we can work on this one, and so on and so on. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the thumb first and see how things are deforming. You know, I actually quite like how the thumb is deforming by default. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Oh, actually. Gosh, that's really good. So the thumb is perfect already. We don't need to worry about that. Let's see what we got here. None of this is that bad for the purposes of what we're doing. I'm actually not going to paint these. I'm going to do a weight hammer. So if I go to rigging, skin, hammer skin weights, this lets you kind of just average the weights between all the vertices here. And one thing I could do is select the whole edge loop, this like going all the way around, and then I do that thing again and it kind of averages that out. Sometimes it works, sometimes you lose a little bit of the volume. And by volume I mean like the shape, the heftiness, the roundness. It kind of can get lost sometimes. And what I did here is that's not great. So now we do want to kind of use the painting tool. Just kind of smooth things out. Votable says, this has probably been the hottest spring I've ever known. Yeah, it's pretty hot where I am. I recently moved to a much colder place, but it's still hot up here. Alright, so now you can see the stuff that Highwell was talking about, painting weights. Just going to smooth this out a little bit. I want to add a little bit to it, so I'm going to bring up my settings. And we're going to just do add, value of, let's say, 0.25. Oh, that's too much, it's 2.1. I'm going to try to preserve a little bit of this shape here. So I'm going through and I'm adding a little bit of value and then I'm smoothing it out. And you'll see, like, you might be wondering, why is it black, blue, green, yellow, etc.? It's because it's going to go from black, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Red or white represents 100% and everything in between is different. Oh, Sparkle Wolf says the internet's been spotty. I wonder if it's just Sparkle Wolf or if it's me. Can anybody else tell me if it's spotty on their machines? Alright, so you see the automatic version has brought some of these bits over. We don't want that at all, so we're going to replace the value instead of adding, and we're going to replace it with 0. So basically this is saying don't take any influence from this joint, because we don't want the ring finger affecting the middle finger at all. And it's getting a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to just hide all these objects temporarily. That'll let us work with this a lot better. And remember I showed that weight hammer tool? This is going to help a lot here. Hammer skin weights. Ooh, it didn't help as much as I thought that it would. But now you see why it's very important that I offset these fingers to do one at a time, because now we can get in there and be like, oh, this is weird, let's fix that. Votable Globe says, steak, I can make you happy in 4 words. How about, let me guess. My cat is back. Ah! Did I actually really guess that? Or did you type it after I said it? I just knew what would make me happy. Telepathy actually. Telekinesis is moving things. hard to tell what part is which finger here. It's my steak sense. My steak sense is tingling. There's tri-tip in the area. I'm using the weight hammer tool to just kind of smooth things out. It does a fair job depending on the situation. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution to things, but it does a pretty good job. Pro Tyler says, I'll be back, I'm getting bored. Yeah, this isn't the most exciting part of the process, certainly not. You're getting a first-hand view into why not too many people become technical artists. Your cat likes it though, nice. Alright, so we're losing a little bit of volume in the hand too. See right here? Right at the base of the finger. You know, we also don't want it to be necessarily so bendy. So let me fix one thing at a time. Do paint skin weights again. And we want to make it fully on the hand. But we also don't want it to collapse it. Let's put it to 0.5. Put it to add 0.5. And smooth it. That way it's just like, so that the hand isn't collapsing, not intersecting itself too much. Welcome back, Highwell. You know all about what I'm doing right now. I try to avoid this too, but I think it'll be good for the video. And it'll be good for the product too, being able to offer multiple choices. Alright, so you see when I did that, it kind of let things bend. Like when I was showing you my elbow bending, a lot of times when you make muscle shapes and things, you're doing it not just skinning, so it's a little bit different than that, but basically you start to see how, depending on how you paint these weights, you can make things kind of squish together the right way. without any need for muscle simulation or anything like some games and videos, movies do. So see, now that looks a lot more natural than what was there before, where it was a lot more bendy. I'll do the same here. So instead of just bending as one like kind of cartoony piece, well, it still looks kind of bendy, but I also don't want it to intersect too much for the sake of the 3D print. It might mess things up with the 3D print. All right. So if we show again the pieces, you're seeing now how we're going to use the rigging just to get them in the basic right places, but then we're going to disconnect everything once it's posed and fix up the model. So like, I don't like the spacing of this here once they're all spread out. We're actually going to need to take those and rotate them and scale them to make them perfect for what we're doing. What's up, JLO and CC? Good to see you again. Now that I finished that finger, I'm just going to go to the restroom real quick and get some more water, and I'll be back in just a minute. Sorry to be leaving right when you showed up, JL and CC, but I will be right back. All right. JL and CC, I see you have said how long do you think to flash it? Did you mean is that autocorrect for finish it? Probably an hour. And then off stream, I'm going to do a little bit of the mechanical stuff to cut out pieces. Kind of the not very interesting stuff. And then I'm going to print by tomorrow morning. We should see if it works or not. All right. We go back to it. Let's try to separate some of these vertices getting in the way of each other. Skin. What did I just do? Copy vertex weights? I don't need to do that. Oh, interesting. I can get inside of it here and I see it going in between itself. That'll actually be helpful to smooth it out. We will both enjoy this next hour. Thank you, Loadable Globe and Tabitha. And then JL and CC says, I just watched your Whisper video. Thank you. Yeah, it's I was really hoping Whisper would have actually done better because Trip did 15,000 views, and it really got me a lot of followers and stuff. So what I did with Whisper was try to really make the format exactly the same as Trip. Not exactly the same. I was more creative, better editing, but the same idea, like same obscureness of character. Not that they're obscure, but like they're not a Sonic. They're not a Big. Well, Big's little. They're not a Sonic or a Knuckles or a Shadow, you know. So I was kind of hoping that kind of this niche character, similar to how Trip is niche, it's going to do really well similarly to the Trip video. But unfortunately, it's not cut on the same way. Geometry here is getting a little dirty. Squishing up weird. Can I make metal knuckles after this? Yes, actually, I just well, sorry, the answer is no. I've got a lot coming in a row before I would get to something like that. What I meant was like, yes, actually, I just was looking at metal knuckles thinking about it. So yeah, metal knuckles, I think I would use a metal Sonic as a base and then 3D print a lot of parts, but for all of the parts with that are joints, I would use a metal Sonic for probably. Oh yeah, Sparkle Wolf. I think I saw you say this, but I didn't ask for clarification. What is your metal knights? Like, I assume it has to do with the Nights into Dreams, but what does that actually look like? Metal Knights was in Sonic Superstars. Really? Let's look it up. I don't want to get too distracted, but Metal Knights. It's Sonic. Oh! That's actually really neat. Oh, I like it. That could be totally made out of a Metal Sonic's joints too. I would just make something to like go around the chest area just to cover like the classic design and just replace the head and the hands and the feet. Yeah, I recently saw this. I was thinking about making him. Oh man. Let me add that to my ideas list. Ooh. My wife just sent me a text that says, "This is the right Knuckles, isn't it?" Oh! Oh, look what my wife just found! Ho 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 ho! Massive W from the W. Haha. Do I need the classic Knuckles? No, I have a classic Knuckles though. I already have a Heavy King. Let's see. Do I want the Knuckles though? Bear with me while I text my wife because I feel like she and I may have had a conversation about if I needed a Knuckles. What was I thinking? Oh. Bear with me. I don't think my wife is watching. She's just at Target right now, and I think I asked her to look for other shadows, and I think she thought I meant Knuckles. But the fact that she found a Heavy King and a Metal Sonic 3, that's great. All right. I feel like a Heavy King giveaway is in the future. That's right, YBZ. Yeah, I already have a Heavy King. I feel like I may just have to give it away to one of my viewers. All right. Well, that's cool. I like the look of that. Yeah, they actually had Metal Sonic 3.0 at a store near me called Entertain Mart, but for $20. And I bought Heavy King for $20 just because I had looked for it for a couple months and didn't find it, so I just wanted to grab it. JLNCC says, "Can you make Neo Metal Sonic after this?" I have my my spare Metal Sonic is going to be made into a Metallics Emperor. So I've primed it already, and then I'm going to paint it with a shiny red, and then I'm going to 3D model his little chair. Well, not little chair, because he's, in comparison to, say, like this Knuckles figure, the Metallics Emperor would be like this big, but I'm just going to make it out of the 4-inch one to represent it. Thank you for letting him know, YBZ, but I have no problem reiterating. Maybe the volume was off when I answered, or maybe you had to step away or something. So thank you for helping with the information, but no worries. Yeah, awesome. Oh, my wife sent me another text message. Oh, yes, actually. For Tikal. She was thinking of Tikal. In case. Yeah, I'm looking for regular Knuckles so I could do Tikal. Somebody just asked, am I making a fist? One of the things is going to be a fist, yeah. Fist will be one of them. Alright. Starting to get some good shapes here. That's exciting that my wife found that. Found all three of them while I was streaming this. Alright, so I feel like it's getting a little bendy here, so I'm gonna add just like see when I start adding more here, it kind of makes it feel like more of a knuckle sticking out. Now I'll smooth it out. Just to get more of that knuckle shape instead of a bendy shape, you know? Oh, Pink GameCube used Amy for to call. Okay, nice. Yeah, I haven't seen any Amy's. I think I bought my Amy a little expensive too. This would have been like a year ago though. I'm gonna tell my wife that everybody was stoked that you found it, that she found it. Alright. Somebody on the Reddit, the Sonic Reddit, gave me a good suggestion of mixing flexible resin with the with the existing resin so it's less brittle. I think I may try that. I tried flexible resin in the past and the flexible one itself didn't cure very well, but I think mixing some of it together should do pretty well. Oops, not bind skin. I want hammer skin weights. Don't like the shape that that's making though. Oh, there we go. That's some better shapes. Part of the process is so tedious and messy. It's actually pretty fun to do when you just want to zone out, but it's not good. It's not good for a stream. Yeah, absolutely, Sparkle. Definitely want to see him. Alright, that's good enough for now, because remember, we're just getting the shapes first, and then we can go in and... Oops. We can go in and smooth out the geometry later. What? I'm telling it to replace with 0. Why is it going blue? That was weird. Weird bug. Alright, we're getting there. Yeah, see, like when it gets that way, we're gonna have to fix that later, but we'll continue on. Portable Globe says, your channel is so good steak that it satisfies and keeps calm my needy little girl. I'm glad. Hi Tabitha, I'm glad you enjoy it. My wife just bought a new cat food. I'm gonna call my, instead of just saying my wife over and over again, I'm just gonna say Bailey. You guys will know who I'm talking about. She bought a new cat food, and the cat does not like it. She bought it at Costco, so it's 50 cans of wet food, and the cat will not eat it. Oh yeah, Knuckles. We're listening to the Knuckles song while working on the skinning of the Knuckles of Shadow. Yeah, you know how it is. Man, this geometry is getting messy. That's the tough part because we don't need this to be really amazing for like a video game. So it's kind of this weird mix of getting it good enough but trying to know what is good enough for the purpose that we're doing it. Who's he singing about right now? Is it about Rouge? I don't know how it is. I'm asking. Yeah, I think he is talking about Rouge. Man, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm thinking about Sonic Adventure. Kind of want to go to the casino tonight. Play some craps. One of the upcoming plays with the theater company that I'm trying to do Legally Blonde with. I'm auditioning almost just less than a month from now. They're going to be doing Guys and Dolls next year. So that's about one of the characters is a craps dealer. And for those who don't know, craps is a dice game in casinos. Has anybody seen my Pumpkin Hill picture? I did a toy photo where I made a photo of Knuckles destroying a pumpkin. I'll just show you real quick. So this is my website, steakosaurus.com. Just has a bunch of different things that I do. It's fun stuff. You can check it out. Here we go. It's Knuckles. I set it up so that the pumpkin was all on like different metal wires, and then I painted the wires out. I need to update this page because it doesn't have all of my Sonic photography. This is one of my favorite ones. I made this background out of foam. I carved it with a pencil. Yeah, you saw for alligator on there. Where is that? Oh, right here. So this is a rig that I made. So speaking of rigging, so yeah, so I did muscle simulations. So I rigged it, and then I simulated the muscles, and then I did this. This is kind of a cool thing to make him come out of the Pokeball. In the animation that I did for it, it's too much to explain what I did, but I did some neat techniques to be able to do that. Let's see. Yeah, this talks about how I did the Pokeball effect and things like that. So if you are a compositor or interested in compositing or interested in rigging, this has a lot of information on how I, created this animation. Oh, let me show you the actual animation. Little baby Togepi. Yeah. And if you want to check out some more of my toy photography, I have it all on my Instagram. If you just search Stegosaurus Rex. That's my Instagram. Alright, well, it's not perfect, but I think it's close enough. So let's bring back the parts that were hidden. So now that we have this set up so that we can pose it without having to fully recreate the hand. Honestly, rigging that up probably took close to as much time as it would take to just kind of pose it, but that's okay. I'm going to delete all the animation from this. Let's save the scene first. Somebody commented on one of my YouTube videos, said make a Batman Dark Trap. That's not a bad idea. Crossover franchises. I wonder what Skylander trap, or let's see. What if it wasn't a trap? What if it was like a custom Skylander? What would you guys say would be that could be a crossover with Batman? Are there any Bat Skylanders? I actually can't think of any. But I actually just got an idea for a Rouge repaint. Make a Batman version of Rouge. That'd be cool. Batwoman. Bat spin. One thing that I feel a little bit unsure about with this skin, it feels kind of thin, so I'm just gonna be a little bit lazy. And I'm just gonna move it down like a duplicate of it, because this hole is gonna get cut out later anyway. But I just felt like it needed to be a little thicker. So it's kind of silly to do that, but I just feel like it'll make for a slightly better product. All right. So let me think about how best to duplicate this, because you can't just duplicate objects when they're rigged. You have to duplicate like the whole input graph. But I could also, let's see, I can export the whole thing by doing this. That's weird that those turned gray. I don't know. Might be a bug in Maya. So I'm going to say export selection as a Maya file. Hand rigged. Then let's save this scene. Open up our other scene. And then, let's see, that's going to be under Organized Docs, Maya, Sonic, Scenes, Hand rigged. Alright, so here is our hand, and the whole thing can be moved over to the side very nicely. Thank you, Votable Globe, but I think I've been saving fairly consistently. I use the hotkey of Control S, so you don't see me go up and save it. Pretty much every time you see me take a drink, I usually have saved the scene. Alright, so now that we have a hand ready to pose, we are going to save out individual scenes. So let's save this one as save scene as, let's call it hand with sword. So let's bring in the sword now. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this hand. Hands are tough. Alright, so let's look at how Tito does his hand. I don't know if it's like just it's straight up or if it's maybe like at an angle or something. So let's see. Tito the OG Caliburn. Okay, so his has a slight angle to it, and that looks nice and natural. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to give options where you can have just a sword that kind of slides in, or a sword that is connected as one. And I know that this is the left hand. I'm probably going to put it in his right hand, but I happen to make the left hand. We'll just flip it later. Oh, he has two swords, really? I thought that was just Knuckles. Because I know that there's two versions of the sword. Oh, shoot. Let's look that up. I noticed that in the reference you sent, it had two. Because I thought there was a sword, like I thought he had maybe upgraded his sword. Because all of his poses show just one. The sword is called Arendite. It's the sacred swords. Okay, cool. Yeah, and maybe I'll give people the option of making it left-handed or right-handed too. Alright, so let's... Oh yeah, it's still animated, but we don't want to do that. And delete all the keys from this because it's still technically animated. So now we're going to be able to freely pose these fingers to fit around it. And I want to make sure that there's a lot of good intersections so that it turns into a nice 3D printable solid piece together. You said he would hold it how he holds a knife in combat, but I actually don't know how you'd hold a knife in combat. Let's see. Lancelot Shadow. Oh, well, yeah, there's a couple different options. Maybe I'll give those as options because I like him holding it like this, but I do see this. Yeah, we can just do both. That'll give people variety to choose from. So he holds it knife style in the game. Yeah, I'll do both for sure. You can see I'm actually cheating it a little bit. I just moved the knuckle in a way that it could never physically move. That's okay because we're just using this posing just so we can get things in the right spots. Oh no, I've been using world rotation. I want object rotation. That's the whole point of why I oriented the joints the way I did. Okay. So that looks a little... Oh, that's not good yet. Let's what's coming through here? That's fine. I don't like... What don't I like about this? This needs to be longer. This needs to kind of push in more. And the thumb come in. And then we'll leave a little bit of a gap there because it's going to have a gap no matter what. Yeah, I'm glad that you still enjoy it, even though you're not that much of a Sonic fan. Thank you for the kind words. Well, that's the thing. So one version, I'm going to make it so that the hand can slide in. But another version, it's all going to be as one piece. So one of the things with this one, it's all going to, the one I'm working on right this second is all going to be one piece. So I want to make sure that there's a lot of good intersection points to make it a nice solid object. All right, so I think I like the posing of the hand for this. That sword looks really big. It's going to make the figure heavy. But here's the great thing about what we're doing here. So I'm going to save. First, I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it as a duplicated file. Combined. And what we're going to do is, will this fly off crazy if I just unbind it? I think it will, but let's see. Yeah, it does fly off. So I need to edit, delete all by type, history. And then I'm going to delete the joints. Now everything's in the right places. And now we just have a model that we can work with. So for instance, I maybe don't like where this piece ended up. This is what makes this part very special. I can move this. It's no longer rigged, but it's in the position that it ended up after posing the rig. How cool is that? So now I can kind of like take these and make them more aesthetically pleasing for just this sculpture. Modify set pivot. Oh yeah, paint it up. This is gonna look sick. With all the wash, you know, I was talking about the wash earlier. The wash is going to get in every one of those details. So notice how it's interpenetrating here. Boom, fixed. Just because we're moving this around for just the toy. It's not like a video game or something where we had to get the rigging perfect. So I didn't rig it perfectly. I just made it so we could get things into the right spots, right? So now what I'm trying to do is get all these parts aesthetically pleasing and lined up. And I can actually just scale this up a little bit. Cheat it, because I think it'll look a little bit better with the others by scaling it up slightly. So by setting it up the way we did, now we can get really into the details of how we want to, I don't know, like just make it aesthetically pleasing, you know? I love Chow. Unfortunately, I lost the 3D models for the Chow, so I can't make more or upload them. I'm gonna have to remake them. Yeah. See, now with those granular details, like look at this. I think these stick out too much now, so let's just go through and fix those. look at it from all angles to see how to look as a full 3D thing, and I think I like it as it is. Look at that. He's holding the sword. All right, I like it. So that's sword combined. I'm going to save that file. So there's a lot of cleanup to do, like merging them all together, booleaning them, that I'm going to do off stream. But yeah, I guess I don't want to bore. Well, I just said I don't want to bore you with doing all the booleans, but I just bored you all a lot with the skinning. I bored myself. Yeah, that is going to be some insane detail, especially with the wash. Ah, let's go. All right, so I'm going to reopen the previous file, and we're going to make the one where we're going to try to make it so that the hand can hold the sword. What is there to do left, you ask? No full parts. Oh yeah, nothing left on stream. Yeah, there's nothing left to do on stream. Oh yeah, King Arthur with his giant shoulder pads. What I need to do off stream is work with getting it to fit the pegs really well. So I got to do a lot of test prints with that. I got to boolean everything, triangulate everything so that it becomes a good print. That's probably like 4 more hours to go after the stream. It's already 5? Holy cow. Alright, so let me show you what I plan to do here. So now we're back in the one that's rigged again. So now I want to make sure that there's enough space for the sword to fit inside of the hand. So we're going to actually make this kind of more of an open grip. And we'll just rotate this part slightly. And this should capture the sword pretty well when it's printed. Maybe a little tighter. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Huh, cat woke up. Yeah, I think that's going to be good, so I'm going to save this as something different. Hand, sword. What is the word? I'll just say empty. All right, so that one is it as an empty. Oh no! Let's delete all by type history. So by deleting all by type history, it deletes those connections that the joints had to the meshes. So now we're back to the point where we can mess with some of these positions a little bit. That's good. She seems cozy. Good kitty. Just trying to give these a little bit more of space between them where we can. Oh, this song always creeps me out. Was it the Haunted Chow place, or was this the bootleg Chow guy? I think this is the Haunted Chow garden. Dark Garden, that's what it's called. Alright, so now we have a sword, or a hand, that will... Let's take the sword out. Alright, so off stream I'm probably going to do one that's a fist, and... I guess that's it. I don't know what else, what other kind of hand things he might do. Maybe just a... Well, I'll probably do a neutral pose one. And, yeah. I'm going to print them tonight, see how it goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Some of you stuck through the whole thing. I Will Plays, Will Globe, YBZ. Pro Tyler was here for a long time. There's somebody else I'm missing who was here the whole time. Why am I not thinking of the name? Sparkle Wolf was here for a long time. JL and CC. Let's see. Freddy and Friends stopped by. Pink GameCube stopped by. Oh, Swiggy. Yeah, Swiggy was around. Reggie J. Jr. Part of this is me just reading out all the names so that when I put the video together, it's easy to write down the names. Average Alien who cosplays, because I would feel terrible if I forgot a name. Who else we got here? Almer Chan was here for a while. Yeah. But awesome. I've got a little bit of work to do off stream, but and I think I said Pro Tyler, right? If I didn't, well, now I'm saying Pro Tyler. I got a little bit of work to do off stream, but I should be getting these printed before I go to sleep, and then by the time I wake up, I should see if they work well or not. So thank you all for joining, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I probably will not be streaming tomorrow because it's Mother's Day. But we'll see. Have a great rest of your night.